Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, here to talk about a game called Nexomon. I had never heard of this series before when I was kindly provided with a code for the game, thank you very much to P-Cube for supplying that, but I have now seen that another game called Nexomon Extinction was released last year. But the game I'm looking at today is simply called Nexomon. It's coming out to the Switch on Friday the 17th of September, and it is a port of the first game in the series, previously released in 2017 on mobile. I've been a busy beaver lately, so sadly I haven't had much time to play this game all the way through. I've put about 4 hours into it, which isn't enough to get through the whole game and bring a proper review, but it's enough to give an impressions video and an overview of what this game is, so bear that in mind. It would also be nice for you to keep in mind that shiny red subscribe button down below if you want to join our party and see our future videos and streams. Thanks everyone. So, over this 4 hours with the game, I tried to answer the question, what is Nexomon? It's a top-down RPG which involves travelling between towns, catching monsters in the wild, and then battling them and training them. I just got a message telling me there's a giant grey land mammal with a trunk standing in the corner. I'll ignore it for now. The backstory for this game involves a war between the humans and Nexomon, led by the evil king of Nexomon, Omnicron. But the humans eventually learned how to tame and befriend the Nexomon and used them against Omnicron, putting an end to the war. Humans and Nexomon then learned to live in peace together. Although I kind of feel like humans got the better end of the deal here, seeing that the Nexomon are still getting caught in traps and forced to do battle. But the game likes to think it's a good friendship, so we'll run with it. Anywho, fast forward to present day and there is an evil Nexolord at large who needs taking down a peg or two. You need to travel around the game's world, taming and training your Nexomon you find in the wild, and I'm hoping you'll eventually get to save the day, but I haven't gotten that far. Gameplay wise, you start your file, name your character, and you get to choose a starter Nexomon between 7 choices. I chose the beaver because, like I said, I'm a busy beaver. You get a companion with you who is more annoying than Fee from Skyward Sword in constantly spelling things out to you. Then I've been travelling between towns. In those paths there's been wild Nexomon in the long grass and caves. If they appear I need to fight it with my own Nexomon by choosing an attack. There are also other Nexomon tamers that need defeating along the way, and I met a boss style tamer inside a gym. Each Nexomon has a type, such as water or plant, which have their strengths and weaknesses, and they're all very helpfully labelled by the Nexomon stats and the moves themselves. If the opponent's Nexomon HP depletes, they faint and you gain EXP. When your Nexomon levels up, their stats get boosted and they can eventually learn new moves, but they can't learn more than 4 moves. And some of them, when they reach a certain level, will evolve. If a wild Nexomon is low on health, you can throw a Nexomon trap at them. If you successfully catch it, then it joins your party. You can only have 6 Nexomon in your party at a time. Your other Nexomon are stored in a PC, which you can access at the healing centres, buildings where a nurse stands behind the counter and places your Nexomon, still in their traps, on a machine that heals them with a few beeps. Okay, now I've gotten that all out of the way, I suppose I should now acknowledge that elephant in the room. This is Pokemon. There's not really any other way to describe this game. Anyone who has played a Pokemon game would have found everything I just said very familiar. This makes it very hard to talk about this game, as on the one hand, it is still a very good game from what I've seen of it, but on the other hand, it just makes me think of Pokemon. There are some differences in the moves I've noticed. In Pokemon, your moveset consists of 4 moves, and when your Pokemon is able to learn a new one, you have to forget an old one. In Nexomon, it is the same situation, except the old move you forgot gets saved in a virtual bank, and you can switch them out at any time. Secondly, in Pokemon, your moves have limited uses, known as PP, and powerful attacks will have a limit of say 5 times, whereas weaker moves can be used 40 times before you need to use an item or take them to a Pokemon Center. In Nexomon, however, your Nexomon have a stamina bar, set to 100, and each move uses some stamina. The more powerful the move, the more stamina used. I think I prefer this method of move management, as I will call it. Although I have yet to come close to running out of stamina, I can see later and tougher battles lending themselves to strategy in working out which moves to use to preserve my stamina. So now let's talk about the Nexomon themselves, and this is one area where I am struggling a bit, but it is a personal issue. As a child, I'm sure I would have gotten into these creatures a lot more, but as a 34-year-old man, it's harder for me to remember a lot of the new characters in a short amount of time, which means that as I write this review, I can only remember one Nexomon from the ones I've encountered in the game, and that was Hobbin. And look at him, how can anyone forget that? But I did have a hard time choosing my starter, simply because none of them really appealed that much to me. I am trying to view this game on its own merits, but my bias towards Pokemon has been standing in the way somewhat. I was really big into Pokemon Gen 1 and really enjoyed Gen 2, but fell out of the loop then simply because I couldn't keep track of all the monsters. And I am a casual fan of the series as a whole now, so it's hard for me to get into a game with over 300 new monsters to learn when I'm struggling to remember monsters in a franchise I already loved. But I would like to reiterate that I think this is still a very good game, I just haven't seen much originality here. I will continue to play through this, and if my opinion of it changes, I'll make another video confessing how wrong I was. So, do I recommend it? Well, it is hard to say, especially on Nintendo Switch, where the Pokemon games exist. If you're a die-hard Pokemon fan, then you'll no doubt already have the Pokemon games on Switch, and might not think much of this. But if you're not a Pokemon fan, then I don't think this has anything to offer you that Pokemon doesn't, except for the price. This game costs £7.99 and has a 10% pre-order discount, which is about a sixth of what the Pokemon games costs, and around half the price of Nexomon Extinction. So there is that to consider as well. Just remember, I have not played Nexomon Extinction, so I don't know which game is better. So those are my first thoughts on Nexomon. Based on 4 hours of play, I am enjoying my time with it. Just the aspect of collecting is enough to hook me in. There's over 300 monsters to find, an enjoyable world, I really like the presentation and it sells for a low price. The battling itself I am really enjoying, and I've been hooked in grinding just to level up my Nexomon to take on those tougher battles. And there's also some good humour in this game, such as walking into a house so that someone can tell me off for doing so. And then another house, someone warns me that there's a thief wandering around, so what do? I go upstairs and steal something from their bedroom. But with all that, the whole time I can't stop thinking, this is just like Pokemon. That thought is unavoidable and has brought down my experience. Hopefully there's more originality as the game progresses, but we shall see. Thank you again to P-Cube for supplying this game to me, I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what else is in store later on. Let me know in the comments down below if this appeals to you. Maybe a Pokemon style game with all new monsters is all you want. Have you played Extinction? Would you recommend that to me? Let me know all of this and more in those comments down below. Remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.